Go ahead, Michelle.
Okay, good evening, everyone. We'd like to call the meeting to order and welcome everyone.
Good evening. This meeting is being held in accordance with the schedule of meetings adopted at the organizational meeting held on January 5th, 2026. Adequate notice of this meeting of the Kenilworth Board of Education has been provided to the Home News Tribune, the Star Ledger, and local source on January 6th, 2026. A copy has been filed with the Kenilworth Borough Clerk, posted in the Board Office, the Kenilworth Borough Hall, Burley and Harding Schools, as is provided by the Open Public Meetings Act.
Thank you, Mr. Ganell. Please rise to join us in the salute to the flag.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Ganell, can we please have roll call?
Yes. Biner.
Here.
Crincoli.
Here.
David.
Here.
Haberthur.
Here.
Ardina.
Here.
Ladati.
Here.
Panici.
Here.
Tiers.
Here.
Zimmerman.
Here.
All present.
Okay, thank you. We will have the receiving of the minutes and committee notes of the secretary from the regular BOE meeting minutes, December 8th, 2025, and the committee meeting notes from December 8th, 2025 from the finance and facilities. Anyone have any questions? Okay, can I please have a motion to accept the receiving of the minutes?
Motion.
Okay, second?
Second.
Okay. Motion made by Mr. Biner, seconded by Mr. Haberthur. All those in favor of accepting the receiving of the minutes and committee notes of the secretary, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, ayes have it, motion carried. Thank you very much. Mr. Ganella, do we have any monthly correspondence?
We do not.
Okay, thank you. So then we will now move on to the superintendent's report and presentation. Superintendent Davies.
Thank you, Dr. Panici. Good evening, everyone. Happy New Year again. Tonight, I thought it was high time to recognize the competitive spirit of the David Brearley esports team. If you've ever been at Brearley after school hours, you can probably hear this team down any hallway. They are uber competitive, and they're super supportive of each other as teammates. And they compete against other teams around the state of New Jersey. It's really a beautiful sense of teamwork that you see from this group. We know that our football team and some of our athletic teams get a lot of press. Our robotics team has been getting a lot of press recently, so I wanted to make sure and highlight the good work that's going on for our esports team. Now, my own gaming experience peaked in 1997 with my original Nintendo and Super Mario Bros. 3. So when I was first introduced to the idea of a video gaming team in a school, I admit I was skeptical. But these students, some of them who are here tonight, specifically our seniors who are here tonight, they have been with the team for all 4 years. Believe it or not, our esports team has been in operation for 4 years, which I think is hard to believe. And some of our seniors here tonight have been with the team their entire time as David Brearley High School students. In the team, our students learn teamwork, communication skills, problem solving, while also finding their own sense of community with their teammates. They've also met a lot of success, especially recently, and they're here tonight to talk about that success. I just wanted to take a moment and thank the Board of Education, though, because, again, 4 years ago, the idea of a team of students coming together to play video games in school was very much unheard of at the time. But they've been very successful, and kudos to their coaches, Mr. Rossetti and Ms. Galina, who are here tonight. So I'll pass it off to their coaches, who will then introduce the students and say a few words. So I present to you the David Brearley esports team.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Sorry, a little hype problems. Hi, if you don't know me, I'm Miss Galina. I am the coach of one of the coaches of the Brearley esports team. I've been here for all 4 years, so I've seen them as they were freshmen all the way through. If you don't know a little bit about us, we meet Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 2:30 to 4:30. We practice for 2 hours. We play in the Group 1 state tournaments, so we do play in tournaments. I believe Joe and Damien will tell you a little bit about that. The fall one we just went to, which you can kind of see a little bit on the screen. We just went to playoffs. We reached the semifinals, lost to the eventual champions, so it's a pretty good turnaround. Did you even want to come up and say stuff? I have more stuff I can say.
Yes,
No.
they do.
Go
Come on.
Go up, go up.
I can keep talking.
Also, the video will play. Do you want me to play the video for a second, or no?
It's about the fall championship, so you can talk about fall. And I'll go back. It's up to you.
My name's Damian Grabowski. I played in the fall championships with two of my friends, Michael and Sebastian. We played for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. It's pretty much just a game with a bunch of Nintendo characters where you try to hit each other off the map. We played really well in the season. We had our ups and downs, of course, but eventually we did. We played a lot better than we did last season, or last fall, and we were able to make it to in-person playoffs this year, and unfortunately we lost, but it was a fun time.
We were the only team to beat them all season.
Yeah.
We beat them twice all season. We were the only team they lost to all season.
That's great.
Hi, I'm Joseph Pizarro. I did not play for the Super Smash Brothers team, but I play on the Overwatch team. Currently, we are running a season, and we have a decently good track record. I believe, 2-1. I believe in our team and our ability to make it to playoffs. Teammate right there.
Very nice.
Thank you, Joe. Can I ask the students just two questions before we turn it back to Ms. Galina? Can you just share with the board why do you think it's important that a high school has an esports team, and do you have any plans for your futures that involve this type of engagement?
Well, I think it's important for a high school to have an esports team because it allows us to express ourselves in an area that outside of school we already enjoy. It gives us a moment to hang out with people we might not hang out with otherwise and try games we might not usually play. It allows us to build good teamwork skills and it's helpful in collaborating with each other. I know I've built relationships just through this club, so it is very helpful. At least for me, I don't know if I plan to work on esports outside of high school. I will keep playing games, but I don't know if I'll follow it competitively.
Thank you, Joe.
To build off of what Joe said, I just lost my track of thought. You can think of it as like how there's kids that play sports outside of school, like just for fun. They grew up playing sports. A lot of kids also grow up playing video games. So growing up playing a video game and then being able to show your skills off in a competitive way against other kids that are also really good at that game is, fun to do. And it teaches, like Joe said, teamwork, strategies, and that kind of stuff. I'm gonna look for esports, like to the college I want to go to, but I don't know if I'm gonna make that a priority.
Thank you. Ms. Galina, do you want to finish up? Thank you.
I don't know if you want to see these. So these are it's just a 10-second video from the fall championships. I hope it plays. So we basically play all in one big giant room. You're hearing literally that's what you hear when you're there. So Michael was there wearing headphones just to kind of drown out the noise. We learned that from our previous experience, that was very helpful. So obviously we're just set up. This is actually the team we beat. We're set up side by side and you play on one switch. And then the next slide is just photos of all of us that came.
So you're talking about you went for practice, I assume, after 2:30 or 4:30 or whatever it is. Like, do these games, do they have modules to practice in, or are you just going, like, you could run drills in basketball, football, soccer, whatever it is, but like, do these games have drills where you learn how to whatever it is that you do, or do you just play?
Well, it depends on the game specifically. So for Smash, they played against different characters that like we knew we were coming up against, so they would practice on, okay, well, I'm not doing great on this move. What can I do to kind of outsmart like this heavy character, and what can I do to like focus on so I know I'm going to face this person? How can I counterbalance them? Currently this season, Melody, she's another senior. She's not here. She's in Overcooked. her and another student, they are representing us. We're 2-2 in Overcooked. For them, we actually like sit there and play the maps, and kind of me and them, we kind of go through strategies of, okay, if you're over here, we need to make sure that this person is doing this at the same time. So we kind of think of strategies. There's set maps we have to play for that game, so we practice on those. Overwatch, it's a lot of.
Is Overwatch, you mentioned that before, that's another game?
It's another game. There's a lot of games.
Yeah.
Overwatch is like a PvP, usually multiplayer, like it's a shooting game. They basically play maps together. They play the different maps. They rotate. You guys rotate a little bit every once in a while.
Like the maps?
Thank you. Yes, the characters that are playing, to kind of get a feel for them. They introduced a new system this year. We're banning heroes, so we have to learn to not play our best hero, because they tend to ban that hero, and then you can't play them, as you found out last week. And then we have a lot of freshmen this year that have actually signed up. We have about, 15 kids. We have a lot of freshmen that have signed up, so we have a whole freshman Mario Kart team that have signed up, and they play Mario Kart, just all the freshmen, Wednesdays.
Okay.
So.
And so, like, when you're competing against another team, right? So, again, I relate to when I played football in high school, right? You could go to a game and scout that team and see, where their strengths, where their weaknesses are. How do you do that with this?
So, for scouting purposes, for Overcooked, it's kind of hard to do, but for Overwatch and Valorant, they actually have there's Tracker GG. You can actually look up their username and see what characters they play, how many deaths they got, what are their stats. You can look up all their stats. So our players have to keep their profiles public so you can see these stats.
And that's like your personal profiles. Like if you play this at home, it's the same profile you use in the game. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So how many kids are in the program total?
At a given time, we have we don't have a lot of kids. About 15 to 20, I would say. 15 to 20. Depends on the season. Right now in the winter season, since we're doing 3 games, we have a lot more kids.
Okay.
There are some days where every single computer is full, and there are kids sitting on the floor because we don't have seats. Or we grab chairs from the STEM lab. So we've done that before. There's some days that are later than others.
So Mr. David and I, we attended that seminar down in Atlantic City on the whole e-sport thing, and it was just good to see that brings kids into school, makes kids not be late, brings kids staying in school, etc. So I think the more kids we could get into the program.
We actually got 3 new kids that are from our Spanish-speaking students that randomly show up and like, hey, can we play Rocket League? Sure. Well, why not? So they've been playing. They might be playing for us in the spring when that comes around.
Good.
Yep.
I have a question. Who's the governing body of this?
Garden State Esports, GSE.
And
So
that's-
they worked it out with the NJSIAA, right?
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, they worked it out that NJSIAA doesn't want to be involved in esports whatsoever.
Okay.
They were like, we don't want to be involved in esports. You handle it. That came out last year, I believe. There was a whole thing they sent out last year or in the spring.
And then, they mentioned that they might not want to, but what would be the next step in college?
So I actually have that's my next thing over here. Good thing is, so one of our students, he's not here tonight, Alex Rodriguez, he went through a whole application process for it, which is called the College Combine. It's taking place on February 7th. He got accepted, and he's a starter for Valorant, and he is actually going to be playing in front of about 40 different colleges for scholarships.
That's awesome.
So I nominated him. He went through the whole application and interview process, and he's a starter, and he's going to be hopefully getting a scholarship. That's what he wants to do. When he goes to college, he would like to get a scholarship to play in addition to what he's going to be doing in college.
I guess please let the board know how that works out.
I will let you know. I was kind of saving that as good news, but he told me I could share it with you. I did ask before, and he was last year in the spring. He was in the top 5 in our state for players, and our team was in the top 10 for Valorant. So I have high hopes for this year. We have 3. Damien is one of them. Louisa and Alex are Valorant players, and they're pretty good. So I have high hopes for us this year. I think we can go far.
Great.
Good luck.
Yes, Ms.
Um,
Edward.
Varsity letters.
We do give varsity letters now, as of last year, first year. So we do give varsity letters, and we've got that all figured out. So they just have to participate in the varsity level
Right.
for 2 years, and at least I think it was 75% of the games, and they can earn themselves a varsity letter.
Okay, good.
Yep. Any other questions?
Nope.
Anything for them?
No.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Great
there's,
job.
Oh, the certificate.
there's a certificate of recognition for Joe and Damien, as well as a gift bag, so please make sure you take one of those gift bags on your way out. And while Mr. Ganella is arranging the photograph, I just wanted to express one of the greatest things to see as former principal of David Brearley and as superintendent is the amount of pride that these students have about being members of the esports team. And you know, sometimes you only see that on the athletic field or on the stage, but you're seeing this in a computer lab, so it's great.
Joe actually came to us 4 years ago in the cafeteria, didn't he, and speak to us about the esports when it was first getting
Oh,
started?
he did, that's right. I forgot about that. You're right. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, thank you again, gentlemen. Congratulations. Next, as part of the superintendent's report, is our student representative to the board, Miss Katie Lima. Katie, you're up.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for this opportunity to see you all again. It was a pleasure last time, and I'm glad to be back. I hope everyone had a wonderful and recharging break and is ready to come back and be better than ever. So starting today, I wanted to give an update on our winter sports, and it's all good things, I promise. All of our winter sports are doing amazing. On December 30th, the Braley Bears wrestling team finished at the East Brunswick Bear Invitational, bringing home a team trophy. The boys basketball team most recently won against Governor Livingston in a home game by a score of 60-56, which is close, but they won it, obviously, because our teams are amazing. And our track and field team is making amazing headway into the season with getting a player first place in the Union County Relays. Just one of our many wins so far. I'm very proud of our teams. On December 17th, we had our annual winter concert that was a hit, as per usual, with performances from our choir, band, and dance. On December 22nd, before break, the art department took 40 selected students to a full-day field trip to the Metropolitan Museum of Art. And I actually was one of the ones to go, and it was an amazing experience. I had a really wonderful time. Mr. Hopper also went as one of our chaperones. Our Model United Nations Club, that is actually their first year here, and I'm also part of it, had their first successful bake sale with homemade goods right after school on the 5th to kick off the week back to school right after break. And we have also started to see a lot of seniors here at Burley committing to great schools. I know there's a commits page, and you see everyone committing to these amazing schools, so it's giving me a lot of hope, and we will definitely be hearing of a lot of good commitments in the near future. The robotics team actually this past weekend at Columbia High School earned the Control Award. The FTC Control Award recognizes teams for innovative use of sensors and softwares to create an intelligent robot that reliably solves game challenges, enhances autonomous operation and performance, and the team remains in the top 10 of their conference. Looking ahead, midterms start on the 27th of January and follow through the 30th, where students will have half days and 2 exams per day. And in the following weeks, many classes will start preparing their students with study guides and so forth to prepare for the exams. The Burley Theater also announced that the annual play will be Cinderella this year, with auditions starting as soon as the 18th. So it's a very nerve-wracking time for all these students, but it'll be exciting. And at this time, if there's any questions, I would love to answer them. If anyone has any questions. No? Alrighty then. Well, thank you very much again. This is wonderful
Katie.
as
Great
always.
job.
Thank you, Katie.
See you a month from now.
Katie, there's also a gift bag for you on your way out. Yes. Thank you, Katie. Appreciate the update. Also, just wanted to turn our attention to a Harding update. As I mentioned last week at our meeting, preschool, we opened up 2 new sections of preschool over at Harding, so it was fantastic to have initially a meet and greet on Tuesday, a half day on Wednesday, and the 30 new preschoolers had their first full day of full-day pre-K on Thursday with 2 new teachers to our district, so it was great to see that. And again, thank you to the board for the support, and thank you to the community because the referendum and your support of the referendum enabled that opening of 2 sections of pre-K, which is huge for our of building the foundation for our students and their academic performance. Also, just want to update the public about our search for Brearley High School's next principal. We had the position posted from December 1st through January 9th. 40 applications were received. I've reviewed all resumes. I've done a round of screening interviews with 15 of those candidates, and we're now moving into the process of having stakeholder groups interview the candidates as we whittle the pool down. I anticipate a board approval date of February 9th. That's our next meeting. That's the hope, is that we have our candidate selected by that point. The personnel committee will be meeting with the candidate prior to that, and then the goal is to have Brearley High School's principal start in mid-April. So that is the timeline and the process for that. And then also I wanted to just make mention, many people were talking about the governor's signing of the cell phone ban last week. So you may have heard some fanfare around that. Just wanted to talk about that briefly. This is good news for all schools. It's good news for Kenilworth Public Schools. It allows us to have more teeth in our policy and our enforcement of the policy. Reminder that our current practice is that at Harding and at David Brearley Middle School, cell phones are already banned. So in those 2 schools, it's not an issue. At the high school level, students are allowed to have them on their person. They carry them in hallways and in cafeterias. The bill that the governor signed directs the Commissioner of Education to create guidelines for districts to follow. So we don't have those guidelines yet. The commissioner will most likely spend the next few months designing those guidelines, at which point they'll be pushed down to us, at which point we may be revising policy 5516, which we had actually just revised a few months ago. But just want to give everyone an update that we are keeping an eye on that cell phone ban bill moving forward. In terms of HIBs, the December report shows that there were no HIBs in December. I'm hopeful that this is evidence of stronger intervention programs due to our work shining the light on student interpersonal behaviors as one of our district priorities. So as you know, that was a big push of ours at the beginning of the school year, making sure that we're on top of those student behaviors. We'll have more data at the end of this month when we have the SSDS report. And just a reminder, that is something that I report out to the board and the public. So we'll have more information about all the statistics that back up the number of HIBs and such. So I'll have that very soon to you. Additionally, I'm really quite confident that the creation of that middle school with its own principal and that own culture that's being created upstairs here in this building, I think that's having a big impact on lowering our HIBs, because middle school, grades 6, 7, 8, those are some of the toughest years for youngsters to navigate through. It's when a lot of HIBs pop up. And I think having that, having the referendum, having the support of the community, creating that middle school, I think we're seeing the benefits of that, specifically in this data here. So I'm hoping that we have continued good data in that department. With that said, in your packet is the December discipline report, the enrollment report, and the residency report. Since there is no HIBs to review right now, I'm just going to move on to my final note, is that it is January, and January is Board of Education Member Appreciation Month. So I'd like to take this opportunity to recognize each of you, our board members around this table. These 9 citizens are members of the Kenilworth public who donate their time, their energy to ensure our schools run efficiently and effectively. They give up countless hours for reading emails, correspondence, discussing educational matters at committee meetings, board meetings. They work hard to keep me, Mr. Gunnell, our administrative team, all of us inspired to do our best. And this is a great moment to thank them. So I wanted to just take a moment and remember that these are all volunteers that are here tonight. They could donate all of their time. They're here of their own will, giving up time from their own families and their own lifestyles to be serving the needs of the Kenilworth families. So on behalf of the school community, I thank each of you as board members. I thank you for what you do. I commend you for your service, and happy Board of Education Appreciation Month to each of you. A small little token of appreciation in front of you, and thank you very much. I'm going to ask you to give a round of applause to yourselves, since there's not a huge audience. Thank you very much. That concludes my report.
Thank you. We will now move on to committees, review of resolutions and board discussion. Up first is finance, facilities, and negotiations. Mr. Legati.
All right, good evening. The administration has submitted their budgets to the superintendent and to the business administrator for their review. The committee will start reviewing the budget in early February, which is always a fun process. The committee also met earlier this evening. We focused on the facility projects, which is resolution number 7, and fund transfer, which is resolution number 9 on the agenda. As for resolutions, I reviewed all the financials, which are 2, 3, and 4 on the resolutions. They're all in order. No outliers, all seems in order. 6 is payment to contractors, which authorizes $80,624 in payments for 2022 referendum work. Legacy, which was $5,400. Shorelands was $75,224. The funds will be transferred from the bond proceeds to the operating account. 7 is construction change orders. They're basically for HVAC, isolation valves, fittings, wall repairs. 8 are project awards for 3, which I just spoke about, the facility projects. Again, that's all coming out from the extra money we received in the state aid that has to be done for facilities. It's the pickleball courts, it's the fencing and netting, and it's the playground and recreational products. Basically, it's the sidewalk in the Harding area and a boulder park. So those are the 3 major projects. The pickleball courts are $276,000 approximately. The fencing's $181,000, and the Harding recreational area is $160,000. Again, that's all coming from the funding we got from the state that we have to use just for facility repairs and upgrades. 9 is the budget transfers of $500,000 in surplus capital funds to the operating budget to cover the needs for the pre-K special education and instructional staffing. Mr. Davies just recognized the board. That's number 10. 11 is the agreement between Kenilworth and the police department. The MOA approves the uniform state memorandum agreement between the school and the local law enforcement. 12 is paraprofessional assurance statements, which is the biannual state filing. Basically, it's proper use in supervision of the paraprofessional staff. 13 is agreement with Rutgers nursing agreement, clinical affiliation with Rutgers for nursing services through November of 27. And 14 is tuition reimbursement for Mr. Davies of $3,573 for graduate work level coursework completed in the fall of 2025. And I believe that's it.
Anyone have questions for Mr. Legati at this time?
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Legati. We will now move on to personnel and management. Mr. Haberton.
Mr. David now.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. David. I'm so
All
sorry.
right.
Sorry, Mr. David.
No worries. Thank you. So as Mr. Davies stated earlier, the Personnel Committee will be meeting on February 4th for a meet and greet with the new high school principal candidate. In addition, we have 3 resolutions this evening. Resolution 15 accepts the letter of resignation for a Harding school aide. Resolution 16 approves the employment of some paraprofessional aides for the 2025 school year. And Resolution 17 approves the appointment of a volunteer wrestling coach for the 2025-2026 school year. And that's all I have.
Anyone have questions for Mr. David? No? Thank you. We'll now move on to curriculum instruction. Ms. Tiers.
There are 3 resolutions tonight. The first one is the revised calendar for the 2025-2026 school year. Resolution 19 is the November HIB report. And Resolution 20 is the revision of policy P5111.
Anyone questions? No?
No.
Okay, seeing none, we will now move on to old business. Any old business?
I guess just because it's last week, it's old business, but I'd like to thank the board for nominating me and supporting me for vice president for another year. And I'd also like to welcome back Mrs. Tears. You said you'd be back, and here you are.
Thank you. We want to just remind the public to please make sure that you're checking your Friday folders, the website. If you have any questions, concerns about anything related to school, please make sure that you reach out to our team so that we can help get you that information.
You know, I just want to mention this, the staff did a great job with the snow. So we were prepared, it was all done well and timely, so. I don't have any update, I know we have a little bit of overtime, but we don't have the amounts yet, or
No.
none?
Well, there will be some because it was a
Yeah,
weekend.
so,
Yeah.
but other than that, they did a great job.
Anyone else? Old business? Anyone, anything under new business?
Just the only thing for new business, I just want to mention to the community that our borough is hosting a bunch of events for the 250th anniversary of America. So Dr. Panici, our president, has posted this on, didn't you have it posted, the AMREV event?
I did on my
Yeah.
personal page.
Oh, sorry, was personal, I shouldn't have said that. But needless to say, it's something that the borough and community can do together. So if anyone's interested from our school community, it'd be a nice thing to kind of attend. Yeah.
Great.
Okay. Next, anyone else have anything under new business? No? Okay, we'll now move to make a motion to open up the meeting to the public for comment. Can I please have a motion to open up the meeting to the public?
So moved.
Second? Motion made by Mr. David, seconded by Mr. Byner. All those in favor of opening the meeting to the public, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, motion carried. Mr. Ganello?
Public comment will now be accepted. The Board of Education sets a limit for the public to speak at a board meeting to 5 minutes per person unless prior permission has been granted by the Board of Education for extended time pursuant to BOE Board Bylaw 0167. Please be reminded that while members of the public may speak on personnel matters during public comment, the Board of Education is legally prohibited from discussing individual personnel issues in public session unless the employee at issue has requested a public discussion. The board's role is to set policy and ensure an effective operation of our schools, while personnel recommendations are the exclusive responsibility of the superintendent of schools. The board reviews and acts on those recommendations in accordance with state law and district policy, but does not initiate or manage individual staffing decisions.
Is there any public that would like to comment at this time? Please step up. No? Okay, not seeing any public that would like to comment, can I have a motion to close?
So moved.
Second? Okay, motion made by Mr. David, seconded by Mr. Byner. All those in favor of closing the meeting to the public, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, has it, motion carries. We will now move on to roll call of resolutions. Mr. Ganello, are you ready to do that?
Yes, we are.
Thank you.
We have 20 resolutions on this evening's agenda. Do any of those need to be voted on separately? No? Okay. This is for resolutions 1 through 20 on the agenda. Byner.
Yes.
Crincoli.
Yes.
David.
Yes.
Haberthur.
Yes.
Herdina.
Yes.
Ladati.
Yes.
Tears.
Yes.
Zimmerman.
Yes.
Panici.
Yes.
Motion's carry unanimously.
Okay, thank you. Do we have a need to go into closed executive session?
We do not.
Okay, so since we, no, I heard somebody says it. If we don't have a need for that, I will now ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second? Motion made by Mr. David, seconded by Dr. Concoli. All those in favor of adjourning, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, motion carried. The meeting is now adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thank you.